So today we're going to be going over a fragrance from the house of Xerjoff, and in my opinion, this is one of my favorite offerings from the house, especially for fall. A beautiful day like this calls for Xerjoff 40 knots. You've probably seen this one around on YouTube a little bit. A lot of times you'll hear people say that it's a great summer fragrance. And for me, the amount of depth and complexity that this one has and the amount of woodiness that it has really lends this one more for the cooler months and cooler days like today. So I'm going to be reviewing this fragrance. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think this one is worth picking up. And if you like videos like this, make sure you get subscribed to the channel down below. Also, while you're at it, go give me a follow over on Instagram at Chaos Fragrances. If you have any questions or want to hit me up over there, feel free to do so. And I also do want to mention that I did work with FragranceUSA in order to bring this video to you guys today. I do want to mention that I already did have this fragrance in my collection. However, FragranceUSA is a website where you can go and purchase a lot of these bigger niche brands at a discount. Typically, when you're looking at Xerjoffs, you're going to be paying retail. Websites like FragranceNet and FragranceX usually don't carry these fragrances, and if they do, they're going to be very expensive. In comes a website like FragranceUSA. This is why it's so important and why I tell you guys to make sure you shop smart. Shop around and look for great deals, and they will have you covered with that. You can actually get a 50 ml bottle of Xerjoff 40 knots from FragranceUSA for $170. That's an incredible deal for a fragrance like this, and you can't get that price anywhere else. And of course, this goes without saying, but they offer 100% authentic products. I wouldn't be telling you guys about them if they were shady in any sort of way. They've been around for a long time, selling in a lot of the Facebook groups and just offering some of the best prices, hands down, on niche fragrances. If you want to check out Xerjoff 40 knots or any other niche fragrance that you could think of, head over to FragranceUSA.com. They will be linked down below in the description. Tell them I sent you. Great company, great people to deal with, and again, these prices on these niche fragrances are going to blow your mind. So when you first spray this fragrance on, what you'll notice right away is it's not your typical marine type of scent. Now, typically when you think of a marine fragrance, one with salty notes, kind of sea notes, you're going to be thinking of something super bright, uplifting, maybe a bit casual, maybe a bit playful, maybe a bit youthful smelling. However, that's not at all what you get with 40 knots. This one is a lot more mature, it's a lot more warm and rich, and it just has this kind of dressy smell to it. This is not the type of fragrance that you would wear to the beach or to the pool. You know, if you're having a pool day with friends, I wouldn't wear 40 knots. This is more for an evening out, perhaps on the beach if you wanted to, or just an evening out in general, because even in the fall time where you wouldn't really be reaching for marine types of scents, this one is different than all of the other ones that I've smelled in the fact that it does have more warmth, it has a lot more depth to it, and because of that, a lot more usability and a lot more versatility. Most marine fragrances can only be worn in the summertime, and that's about it if you want to stick to what it's best suited for. But this one is kind of engineered to be a pretty good all-year-rounder and potentially even a signature scent because it has a lot of depth and it has a lot of different changes that it goes through as well. The note breakdown on this one is pretty simplistic. You have cedar wood, you have quote-unquote woody notes, you have sea salt, you have these kind of sea notes and green notes. So, I mean, it's pretty vague. Woody notes, green notes, that doesn't tell you much. But what you really need to know is that sea salt, a bit of an aquatic touch, and the cedar wood. That's kind of the main players for me. It's warm, it's woody, it's just ever so slightly sweet. And again, it just has plenty of depth to go along with it. If you're tired of the traditional aquatic, summery scents and you want something that kind of has that vibe, but is also much more wearable and is not super playful and youthful and has a bit of a dressy, classier edge to it, definitely check out 40 knots. I'm telling you guys, this is one that you should really consider having in your collection. It's one that I've had now for going on a couple years, and it's one that I like to break out on days like this, or even more so evenings in the fall, just because I think it's best suited for those times. Talking about performance on this one, it is a very strong performing fragrance on my skin. Longevity, I'm getting on average about 9 hours or so, which is really good and what you would expect from a niche fragrance. In terms of projection, it is one that does push out pretty far, well past my personal bubble, to the point where people will be picking up on it and they won't have to get that close to be able to smell you. And I do also want to point out, if you look, they did go through a bottle redesign. This is the old school style of Xerjoff bottles. You'll now be able to get it in the new style bottle. I just want to point out that there was no reformulation, no change to the scent at all. The only difference is the actual bottle itself is changing. And again, the fact that you can get this for $170 in a 50 ml bottle on FragranceUSA, that basically makes it a no-brainer. That's a great price for a great, high quality, good performing, all year round scent, more or less. Talking about compliments, this is going to be a really good compliment getter for you because, simply put, it's different. This is not going to be something that everyone is used to smelling, and it's going to intrigue people. They're going to catch a whiff of this on you and be like, that's different. I'm going to have to go ask this guy what this is, just out of their own curiosity, because they're going to want to know so that they can pick it up for their husband or their boyfriend, or if it's a dude, so he can pick it up for himself and smell as good as you are. Go ahead and start to wrap this one up here. My final thoughts on 40 Knots by Xerjoff. If you are into niche perfumery and you want a kind of niche marine scent, but with a lot of depth to it and a lot of wearability, definitely give this one a shot. Like I mentioned a lot on the channel, you really want to be smart with where you put your money, especially with niche fragrances, so you can get your money's worth, right? If it's just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, that doesn't do a whole lot of good. But with this one, I can say, you put your money here, you can really get your money's worth out of this one and really use it if you want to. Of course, still being a niche fragrance, you're probably not going to be wanting to wear it every day, but you'll be able to wear it for basically anything, so you won't have to coordinate, you know, ooh, it has to be this certain situation to wear this one. If you're in the mood for 40 Knots one evening, break it out and wear it, because chances are it's going to work great for the situation that you're in. So that's pretty much going to do it for me, guys. That's my thoughts on 40 Knots by Xerjoff. Let me know what you think of this one down below, and don't forget, there will be a link down below to purchase this one over on FragranceUSA.com. Again, this is going to be your one-stop shop for getting a lot of these bigger brands and even some smaller brands, niche fragrances at a discount. They have Nishane, they have Creed, they have Mancera, they have a bunch of Xerjoff fragrances, right? The list goes on. They're carrying these at unbeatable prices, to the point where FragranceNet, FragranceX, and all of those can't even touch these prices. Very fast shipping, great customer service, and again, great guy to deal with, fantastic website all around. If you want to check this one out, hit that link down below. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.